We want to start off with a reminder that we are not doctors. Before you make any changes or try something new, always consult with your doctor and medical team first. Chronic illness can vary from patient to patient, so it's always best to consult with your own doctor for what is best for you.
Hello and welcome back to IBD Determined. I'm your host, Mason Harvey, and I speak from the role of a patient and I have Crohn's disease.
And I'm your other host, Michelle Harvey. I am Mason's mom, and I speak in the role of a caregiver. And this week's theme is We Are Sick.
I love that theme.
Yes.
Yep.
Mason caught something. We just had a podcast
Talking about
this.
Because in the podcast, I was about to say I haven't been sick for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And she was like, don't say that, don't say that.
No, I was like, don't, whenever anybody says that.
Jinx.
And
Well, shit.
here we are. And then Mason was kind enough to gift it to me.
I love gifting.
So as it goes. So we don't have a real, I wasn't sure we'd both be able to.
The sponsor of today's video is Kleenex, by the way.
Yes, we each have our own boxes here.
No, they're not sponsoring our video, but that would be fun.
How many boxes? You've gone through like 10 boxes.
8, yeah. No,
Yeah.
no.
I'm exaggerating.
Well, no, it's probably on spot because I haven't saved all the boxes.
Yeah. I mean, together it's
probably been like that.
So I mean, a couple interesting things, I guess I would say. The good thing is, like we talked about, getting sick can make you flare, and thankfully
that won't happen.
No, we're just gonna say that for sure.
Yeah, we're just gonna say that won't happen, right?
But luckily, everything's gone well on that front, and luckily, he did a COVID and a flu test, and both were negative. So that's good. Yeah. On the positive side of things, that's all good. And we had a really good week leading up to all of this. And we had, first of all, Mason had his infusion, and there was a child who was sick in the infusion center.
Yep.
It is always a little frustrating when you're going into one of these places where
you can tell someone is audibly and visually sick, and nobody
within like a minute of walking in, we identified the child.
First, it's like, I understand the nurses, they might not want to deal with that.
Because they ask you.
There's literally a questionnaire you have to fill out before you go to the hospital. It says, are you feeling any symptoms of being sick?
And then they call you the day before and they ask
you,
has anyone in the house been sick? Is anyone not feeling well? And so they do try. And
this kid wasn't like just starting to come on with something.
No, it was a good cough.
But
it wasn't like it just developed while he was staying in the infusion center. But the other thing is, we want to say, like I have to say, is we don't always know what somebody has.
No.
And so it puts you in an uncomfortable situation because they can't disclose to you, there's HIPAA laws. Like, it's not like they can tell you, oh no, he's not sick. He has something that causes him to cough and to look sick. And so you just rely on the professionalism, I guess the professional opinion of the nurses to make a call because they know that patient. So we can't always, order things around because we don't know.
Yeah, but there's been other times like when parents said, oh yeah, he's sick.
Yeah.
And
he
was
we were
sick.
Yeah, the bed directly across
him. And
the
parents were the nurses were trying to get him to take precautions, but the kid didn't want to take those precautions, and the parents didn't want to force it. So
that was and so that was on a Tuesday, and we were like, okay. Hopefully everybody, in between working with the patients, the nurses wash their hands. Hopefully nothing. And that's all you can do. And so then the next day we went to Irvine, the San Diego Blood Bank. I don't know if you guys knew this, but there is a San Diego Blood Bank in Irvine. Yeah. And that is a little bit north. And so
there's a really cool mural when you're walking in there. Not to the blood bank, but in the building.
In the building. And then in there, the surprise was there's a poster decorating Mason.
On it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was cool.
Really cool.
And then
because we turned around, I was like, wait a minute, there I am.
Yeah, because I was like, hey, that's you. And it was pretty cool. And when we walked down the hallway to where where they take the blood, then there's your quote. My quote is huge on the wall.
Mason's mom,
Yeah,
Michelle.
it's so cool. So that was exciting. We had no idea. So that was cool. And so we had made pumpkin cookies
Mhm.
that I shouldn't say pumpkin cookies. We made shortbread cookies in the shape of
Yes.
pumpkins. Two
Yes,
different
they're
things,
not pumpkin cookies. They're
right?
shortbread cookies.
Two
Yeah,
different
in the
things.
shape of a pumpkin.
Yeah.
They're not actually pumpkins.
So we brought those
Yes. I
and
love them.
yep. And then after that, we went to Disneyland
Yeah.
because it's right there. We have magic keys, so we go anytime. We were able to go in. We did not go indoors at Disneyland one time. We went on one ride, which was Big Thunder. We used hand sanitizer.
Yes.
Mason wore a
Lots of
mask.
sanitizer.
We had lunch in downtown Disney at
Hmm.
Naples.
In an
Delicious.
open
Outdoors as
outdoors,
well.
yes,
And
near nobody.
yeah, so that was we did, took every precaution. And then the next day after that, we headed down to San Diego for Mason to give a speech
Yes.
for about 50 people,
Yeah.
and that was indoors.
It's fun.
He did wear a mask
Yeah.
to present. We took every precaution, and we can blame the infusion center, but we don't know. We
No, we don't know for
we
sure.
did a lot of things
I
in a
mean,
row. The
and
timing
yeah, and at the other
is sus.
place, I had my mask on the entire
Yeah,
time. I didn't take it off.
we're
Yeah,
yeah,
and I didn't
you're right.
touch anything.
Right.
So like,
We did do a lot of stuff
uh,
for us, and
thankfully the speech went fine. I was feeling great.
yeah.
Now here's a fun part. I got sick. I was starting to get sick the day after. It was like halfway, like 3 hours past.
So yeah, and it was right before a windshield repairman was
Yeah.
coming because something went through my windshield. Still don't know what it was, but it hit our windshield
That was
on
fun.
the previous, the Sunday evening before the Mason's infusion.
Sounded weird. Anyways,
So yeah, so the guy was he was supposed to come on Saturday
huh?
and he called and he's like, "Hey, I'm in the area. I can stop by and fix your windshield." And I was like, "Sweet." And then Mason literally was
Yeah,
like,
I feel a sore throat.
he's
No,
like,
I felt fine when I woke up. I felt fine when I
"Yeah,
had
all day."
lunch. Exactly then. I'm feeling a slight sore throat.
Right. Yeah.
Like an allergy or
Hmm.
maybe I don't know, a slight irritation. It wasn't even bad.
Yeah.
And then within the course of like 2 to 3 hours,
Oh, he's
I'm
like he's
sneezing, I'm
sneezing.
sneezing. I'm using a
Yeah.
box of tissues already,
Right.
and that's within like 2 hours of just feeling
And
a
we
sore
knew.
throat.
We're like, no. And it had been about 4 years since Mason had been sick. So that was like a bummer.
So I had I said my speech went well. That was for
Oh,
people. In college, it just so happened to be that the final speech, the biggest speech that I've done
yeah.
for my entire class, just so happened to be
It was due two
due
days after you got
2 days
sick.
after I got sick.
Yeah. So
Wow. So
right when that cough
thankfully,
starts.
yeah, right when that cough started. So thankfully, here's the good news. We managed to do the speech, get the video recorded exactly within about a 2 hour frame, two
Yeah.
hour period
Hmm.
of when my nose stopped running like 24/7 and before I started coughing.
Right.
And so it was the perfect timing. But the 2 days before, I'm going,
Yeah. He was miserable.
because I'm going, I have to do a speech, and I'm like,
I know.
you know,
And the bummer was it wasn't even just like, oh, I have to do the speech. It was an
no,
important one
it
to
was an
him.
important one. It was about the blood bank too.
Right. It did feel well,
I still
but he
did
did very
pretty good for
well.
being sick. So
Hmm. So that was kind of like,
thumbs up to that.
man, of course you're doing like something that's super important to you and trying to persuade
Uh,
people why they should donate blood.
so fun.
And but he did excellent. He got through it.
See if you don't think blood now, I
And
won't be sick with the cold.
so then we had Thanksgiving come up.
Uh,
And usually everybody is careful for this guy
yeah, he's
because they're worried about Mason. But my mom's going, well, since if Mason's feeling well
Mhm.
enough, we'll still have Thanksgiving over here. It'll be fine. You guys can come over. And then my sister's daughter
Sick.
came down with a fever, sore throat,
Now
stomach
here's
ache.
the really fun part. Like a few weeks earlier. Now, ever since got home from the hospital, every Thanksgiving since then, somebody has gotten sick
Oh, we
and
shouldn't
think,
say this. We should not talk about this.
but it's gotten
It's gonna
cancer.
curse it.
So then my grandma goes, uh, I wonder who's gonna get it this
Yeah.
Thanksgiving? And I was like, hopefully it's not me.
So what ended up happening is my mom canceled Thanksgiving because she's like, you know what? Mason's still going to be getting over something.
Hmm.
Hey, we don't know what Haley has,
Yeah.
and we don't want, then they're like, any of you guys could get sick too, because being around Mason or
Hmm.
my sister being around her daughter, and so my mom's like, let's just cancel Thanksgiving. So that's what they did. So, so on Thanksgiving. We had chicken noodle soup
Yes.
that we it was homemade. I had made it for
Homemade
Mason
chicken
because
soup.
he was,
Very good.
yeah. We had that. We had string bean casserole,
Which I helped make.
Mason's favorite, and homemade bread. And there was just the three of us.
Yeah,
We
just the three
had
of us. Here's the fun part. See, I was just starting to get over.
no
Well, I'm still a little bit sick. It's on Thanksgiving. It was six
6
days. Yeah,
days.
and so I was getting better. It was just nice to hang out, watch the Macy's Day Parade. Just be
Yeah,
able to relax,
and we
not
watched
Thanksgiving stuff.
Garfield
And we watched it.
Thanksgiving.
Oh,
We
Garfield
never saw
Thanksgiving.
it.
It's
It
good.
was it was actually kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that while we were making the stuff. And
Yeah.
so for me, we were out the day before that, we had started putting up Christmas lights. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had helped my husband. We wrap all the branches on. We have a giant camphor tree in our front yard. It's about no, 7 years old. I think I was gonna say
Wow.
50. It's like 7 years old,
Wow.
and it's amazing. And so we wrap all the branches on it. I was wrapping all of them, and then that night I started sneezing, and I was like, "Oh no," because I get allergies. And so Thanksgiving was the next day, and I didn't get better, and it started progressively getting more and more congested. And
Those
um,
camphor allergies are
I
crazy.
know. And so then I'm going, you know, this is an allergy.
Yeah, this is an
I'm
allergy.
sick now too. So that's what we've been doing, and that's why the
Yeah,
podcast today is
nice,
us
nice.
really just talking about being sick. But the one thing we do like to do, because like we're not going to do too much talking today, but the one thing we do is like to bring you guys something of value. It's
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to tune into us, we do want to still talk about something IBD centric.
We're still
Um,
gonna talk about something.
so just so you know, IBD Awareness Week is this week. And so when this is published, it will be IBD Awareness Week, and that is December 1st through the 7th.
Yeah.
Good time for you guys to share your stories if you're
Mm-hmm.
comfortable with that, and let
Definitely.
people know, what they can do, what they to help
Yeah,
you
to help raise awareness, help you help
fundraise.
fundraise, yes,
But
research.
yeah, share your stories. And caregivers out there, share your stories too.
It's
It's
literally your week.
Yeah. So get out there,
Do
make
stuff.
yourself visible, and do something. And so, in honor of that, this is like not, I feel like this is like not that much stuff for you guys, but I wanted to kind of I just like did a quick Google search of, what has been in the news in the past month and the IBD world since in honor of IBD
Mhm.
week, awareness week. One of the headlines was that the new anti-TL1A drug, there's a few of them, okay? There's not just one.
There's multiple.
Yeah, being trying to be developed. But one of them is making such good progress it's in the phase 3 of trials,
All right, that's
which
good.
is really
That's
good.
good. Phase
So
three,
it's
getting
promising.
there.
Yeah, and we can go, I think we'll do probably a podcast on anti-TL1As
And research
because
that a little bit further.
yeah, people are probably wondering, well, what makes it different than what we currently have? And
That
it
will
is
be
different.
coming up soon.
Yeah. And the other headline is that UCSD, which is local to us,
Mhm.
we drive by the medical center all the time. So when we
Fun.
go to Rady's, they have a new AI generated mechanistic insight with how a gut immune mutation may drive Crohn's. And so
Interesting.
they were using AI to do a study. So their AI study revealed how there is a broken partnership basically between the NOD2 gene
Hmm.
and so the NOD2 and the GERDin protein triggers and how they trigger how that partnership triggers inflammation and Crohn's disease. Interesting. They're looking at genetics to see things, and if you've had genetic studies, you can look at yours and see if there's any connection there for you. I don't believe Mason had any of these, any of the variations or mutations. So interesting study. Be interesting to learn more about that.
Getting to the point where we're incorporating AI
That's what I
with
thought was
IBD.
actually, yeah, where they're starting to use that to help them.
Yeah,
So,
and there's gonna be mixed opinions on that.
right. So it's not necessarily groundbreaking yet, but it's news that
It's
they
interesting.
were able to use it to find some kind of a connection.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where things are heading. So anyways, other headline is that UCSF Health is launching an IBD longevity clinic.
Hmm.
And so it's a dedicated
Interesting.
clinic for older adults with IBD.
Cool.
Yeah, which I thought is cool. I mean, I think it'd be cool if they did this for pediatrics.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Because I mean, I think that's not to say I think anyone with IBD deserves to have dedicated medical teams for them,
No.
but I think being pediatric or being older, it may have different severities or different things you need to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things they talk about is that older patients with IBD face distinct health challenges like bone health, medication side effects, comorbidities. They've opened, it says, a multidisciplinary clinic that blends the gastroenterology, geriatrics, pharmacy, nutrition, and primary care to provide holistic care for IBD patients age 65 and over. Yeah, and so I guess one of the things they said, and I know Mace would,
kids
you
that
can
mean more
appreciate
sense.
this, Mace. One of the things they want to address age-related issues like fall risk and
Hmm.
with bone density.
Yay,
And
osteoporosis.
this is where I was like, what's important for people to remember is that bone density. I mean, in people over 65, yes, definite. There's more of a concern. But for Mason, it's already a concern.
Wow, I'm
Um,
a one fragile boy.
I know, so fragile. These are why these things are important for everybody. So with IBD,
Mhm.
I think that one of the things that's missed is the bone density for all ages with
Mhm.
this disease. But I think it's good that they're looking at this. So anyways, cool. Go UCSF. It's
There's
neat to
going
see.
places, yeah.
Well, it's cool to see different groups getting the special attention that they
Yeah.
deserve. But really all of you definitely do deserve special attention
Yes,
with
definitely.
this.
Well, I feel like this is one of the major steps towards that.
It is. And I think they're starting to say, hey, look, different ages are going to have different
Mhm.
challenges. So maybe we should have different clinics, dedicate different things to different challenges of different age groups.
I mean, no, this is not the same thing at all. But it's kind of like how Camp Oasis is specifically for
For
kids,
children,
for
right.
children,
With IBD,
with
yeah.
IBD. It'd be cool if we had something like that for adults.
I
I don't know
know, right?
how many of them would do that, but
Or even like
we're getting into targeted
even like
groups.
camps for families.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
mean,
fun. That's
so
fun
everybody
for the whole family.
yeah, because I know there is a camp. We were talking to one of your infusion nurses. We were talking with the nurse about kids with cancer, and she goes and she'll be a nurse at those places and assist. And what it is though is they address the siblings and make sure that they get their own time too. And so I think a lot of times the patient there's a lot of focus, but then there's family members that are also affected by these that could use some of that. So yeah, so kind of cool idea if they had like
Yeah.
Camp Oasis for like older groups or
Yeah,
just to connect.
you have older different groups, you have ones
I think that's a good
the
idea.
Thanksgiving chat group where it's all watching the new football game
Yeah,
or
like maybe some people knit, maybe
that'd
some
be cool. And
people
then you have like a
paint,
cooking class,
maybe
culinary.
some people cook, so you
There
could
was
do
actually a culinary one in
yeah.
Camp Oasis and it was tomato sauce, wasn't it? Or it
They're
was
just talking about yeah, it was something like a spaghetti,
yeah, but it was
but
pretty cool.
yeah, but I think that'd be kind of cool. Maybe if you met people who are interested in certain things,
Hmm.
you could meet them there and befriend them. You could do virtual, you could do on
Hmm.
site. So yeah, I think that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
teaching others how to be aware with others,
Yeah,
not just saying, oh, well, this is how I do it, so this is how you should do it. No, we're going to teach you how to understand others
right.
and be more
That's a good
respectful and
idea.
listen. Yeah, that'd be good, right?
I think so. Good
Or I
job,
missed
Mason.
something.
Yeah, we'll go
Camp
ahead and
Mason.
yeah. Um, so moving on from that.
Yeah.
The other thing is there was a study done that showed real world long-term safety data for vitalizumab, which is
Okay.
Tibio, but that it shows no new safety signals. So, no new concerns. They've been doing
Good.
because it was a newer drug when Mason got it.
That's crazy to think that it's a
Mhm.
newer one.
Yeah, and so they've been able. It's been 5 years since Mason started it,
Yeah.
and so they've since then they've done more studies to still confirm. Yeah, it looks
Good.
good,
That's good.
safe.
Good.
Yeah, and then there was one more headline about that they did a safety study also on combining biologic and small molecule therapies and they've had acceptable safety in refractory IBD, which is kind of like Mason. So refractory would
Mm.
mean hard to treat. You've treated it with everything. You've done the individual therapies, things aren't working, so now you start doing dual therapies.
That's good to
And
hear.
so yeah, and so you that's like if I'm like for those of you out there, maybe if you were combining like Skyrizi and a JAK inhibitor, but small molecule therapies. So not dual biologics, but dual therapies.
All right. Well, at least you're
So
testing with that area.
it's good to do that because some people respond well to JAK inhibitors but need that
Hmm.
extra,
Boost. Yeah.
boost. And so it's good to see they're
Yeah.
continuing to
That's cool.
study. So just so you guys out there know, these on the back end here, there's still studies being done to check the safety and efficacy of these biologics
Yeah.
and small molecule
We're
therapies.
still learning about
Hmm.
this. That's That's good to know that we're checking the safety of these things.
Yeah. So we're not going into detail on this. These were just the headlines. What I can try to do is find the links though
Mhm.
to each of these
Put them
and
in
put
the
them in there. So if
description.
you want to
Yeah.
read about them, you can. But we didn't want to just come here. I didn't know as of yesterday. I was like, I don't know how we're gonna sound, which thankfully we're doing okay. I usually use my voice, so I was actually worried I wouldn't even have that today. And then
You turn into
um
Batman.
oh,
I'm
people are like,
I'm
who is this on the
Mason.
podcast?
I'm Mason, and welcome back to IBD Determined.
I know. And I was worried. I was
Oh
like, so
no.
I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to keep interrupting. So,
Yeah.
we're doing well. So I think we're gonna probably call it because it's gone well.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to skip this. We wanted to tune in and just
Yeah.
see how you guys are all doing because we're heading into one of the, craziest times of the year, best times of the year.
Yeah. Craziest and
Um,
most wonderful times.
yeah, and especially with it being IBD Awareness Week, it's like we can't not post during this week.
Just
It's
to
so
think that
important.
IBD Awareness Week is in the same month as Christmas.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
We
Lots
all
to,
needed to know
yeah.
that, right? Yeah.
So yeah, so that's basically it. You guys can follow us on Instagram at Team IBD Determined. You can also listen to us on any podcast station like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and check our links to see where else you can listen. And if you're watching us right now, you
Yeah,
can
you've
see us
probably
on
already YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah. Woo, YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want to go on YouTube, make sure to give us a like and subscribe. And if you want to be notified every time we post a new video, make sure to hit that bell icon. If you want to make any comments about
Anything we've talked
anything,
about, share your
yeah,
story.
share your stories. Have you gotten sick this holiday season? Because I'm sure you want to talk about that,
No.
right?
More share your story for
Yeah.
IBD Awareness Week.
Share your story for IBD Awareness Week,
Yeah, if
you
you
know.
want to do that on our page, feel free. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening.
Yes.
And we'll be back nice and healthy, hopefully
And
here and
yeah, hopefully.
next time we see you
Yeah.
in the next couple weeks. So have a good
Yeah,
weekend,
have a good
week,
IBD week.
yeah, day,
Christmas
morning,
Day,
afternoon, whatever your
Thanksgiving.
time when you're listening. Make it a
Yeah.
good one.
Have a
Okay.
good day.
All right.
Yes.
Thanks for
Don't get
listening.
sick.
See you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
We hope you will stick around, tune in, and reach out to us with your own journeys. We are excited to give you an inside view of what it takes to be a caregiver and what it's like to be a patient.
And most of all, we hope you'll maybe be able to play something you hear on here that might help you in your own life. Sometimes life changes, and it's all about how you handle the journey.